make a quick berry crumble a la mode that is both guilt-free and delicious is cookbook author and the chef on The Biggest Loser. Welcome back, our friend Devin Alexander. We're so excited to have you.
Good to see you again.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you.
This is the best New Year's gift you could possibly bring us.
Well, you know, this is what everybody needs at this time of year.
You're not kidding, because we've all probably overeaten just a little bit. I don't know about you guys at the counter, but I certainly
more than a little bit.
Imbibed quite a bit. So joining Allie at the counter is Maria, Ken, and Orly, who can start digging in at any moment. Don't be afraid.
Yes.
And the reason why, listen, don't be scared. It's only 150 calories.
Oh,
where the traditional
the ice cream?
crumble a la mode is 350.
At least. There's one popular chain restaurant that I found one that was 650. So, yeah.
How did you manage to do that?
You know what? I like to cut back ingredients. I focus on flavors and then add other ingredients in to make things even better. Like this has protein powder in it even. So while you're eating your ice cream, you get a little protein. I mean, well,
so
the
good.
Protein ice cream and the protein in the crumble.
So it's basically as healthy as eating a chicken breast.
I'm losing weight.
I'm going to go with that. I'm going
Well, it
with
is fruit. You're getting in your servings of fruits and vegetables, which people don't get.
That's right. Okay, so we start here with just some beautiful fresh berries.
Right, and use fresh for this. I try not to use the frozen. I mean, it will work, but it's not as rich.
Okay.
Because of the water content in frozen.
Okay, so what did you
Okay,
just put
so
in there?
I added some natural sweetener. I use stevia. You could use a monk fruit sweetener or any other natural sweetener.
Okay.
And then I put some whole grain oat flour.
Okay.
So we're just gonna mix those up.
So what is monk fruit?
Monk fruit is a tropical fruit that is super, super crazy sweet. You just buy it in packets after it's been, packaged.
Okay,
You wouldn't go and actually get the fruit.
So we mix that together like that. Now we make the crumble part of this.
Yes, okay, so we have some more oat flour here. Now, if you can't find oat flour in your grocery store.
Like, I don't know what's going on. Why is this so good? I did not get it in my face fast
We
enough.
love it.
This is her job. This is what she does for a living.
Yes.
She knows what she's doing.
Okay, so whole grain oat flour, you can make this in your food processor by just processing oats if you can't find it, because I get letters from people all the time, I can't find the oat flour. It's like, just make it yourself.
Oatmeal.
Just
regular
get
oatmeal?
oats, yeah, and make it yourself in your food processor. Just process it until it's super fine.
Okay.
And then with a pastry blender, you want to mix. We're going to cut the butter to kind of make it crumbly.
That's not regular butter. That's vegan butter.
This is vegan butter, yes. Now that is non-dairy, so it doesn't have obviously animal products. It has oils in it, and it gives a buttery flavoring. If you don't want to use that, you could always use coconut oil.
Okay.
Get the kind that's like hard. Some of them are really liquidy, and then others are hard. So you want the harder kind, so it'll actually crumble.
Are we switching that out for health reasons or calories?
Kind of both. There's a lot less saturated fat in the vegan butter than in traditional butter.
Okay.
And then it's also, calorically it's not that much different, but a lot of people are vegan these days, or eating plant-based, not animal products. And then we're gonna put some protein powder. This is vanilla. I use a whey protein. Be really careful when you're buying your protein powder, because I know a lot of people think protein powder doesn't taste good, and it gives
you that weird aftertaste.
Right, which you can't taste here, right?
No, it's delicious.
Because the brand that I buy doesn't have that, for one. I made sure of that before I put it in my desserts. And I always tell people, like, avoid the pea proteins, because I feel like, I mean, I know they're really good for you, but I've never tasted one that doesn't taste like
they have an aftertaste.
or some sort of.
But it's not bad for you, though. Right?
No, it's good for you. It
just
really
doesn't taste good.
Yeah, right.
So, and obviously, taste good with ice cream.
Okay, and if you have a dairy allergy, obviously you can't use the whey. There's egg white proteins. There's all different proteins, but yeah, definitely try them, because some of them I think are so good, and others are just terrible.
And which one did you say you like the best?
I like a whey protein.
A whey. Okay.
Yes, and then you put some sweetener in here as well, and then some cinnamon. Yes.
Okay.
So we're gonna mix this all up till it gets crumbly, which you can do if you have one of these fancy pastry blenders. Do you want to do this?
Sure, I'll do
the
it.
proportions on like the monk fruit and the stevia, that's on the package, so we can swap it out for any recipe.
Right. Yes. And you can always, try things yourself. I mean, recipes, I like to pretend that I'm so precise, and I am when I'm developing them. But if you can't find one ingredient, like you can't find the oat flour, and you really don't want to make it, like you can use wheat flour. You know what I mean? Yeah, you're still getting whole grains and all of that. And then so we're gonna crumble this a little bit more.
Okay.
You can do it, as I said, you can do it with your fingers. You just want it to, you don't want it to sink in when you put it on.
Okay.
So it's nice and crumbly there.
So do you keep the vegan butter cold like you would regular butter?
Yeah.
Okay.
Anytime you do a crumble, you want to keep it so that it does crumble. Like if it's liquidy, it's not going to crumble at all.
Okay, so now we fill our ramekins.
Yeah, so we fill the ramekins here.
Now, you know, you've made a career out of taking guilty pleasures and substituting things that are healthier and cutting the calories and the fat by at least half, like you just showed us today. As a matter of fact, I don't know if you guys know this, but Devin lost 70 pounds on her own doing this. No fad diets. She did it this way. Take a look at that.
Eating foods I love.
Eating foods
and like 30 years ago. So I literally.
You've kept it off.
I've kept it off.
Can you show us some of the beautiful recipes that you have on your website?
So I'm a big fan of everything, unfortunately. I love sweet, I love salty. And so here's a cinnamon roll that I literally cut like 400 calories out of. That's crazy. And I substitute yogurt for all the butter, and then we just put the crumble on top here.
Oh, and look at that.
Yeah.
That looks what about the Chinese pepper set?
Yeah, so that I use London broil. It's a really lean cut instead of like a really fatty cut of beef. And then I make this delicious sauce out of tomatoes and soy sauce, some grilled peppers and things. Okay, and then we pop this into our oven at 400 degrees.
For how long?
For about 14 to 20 minutes.
Right. And look at
Until
that.
it's
So good.
But wait. Now we got to top it with a la mode.
Now we top it with olive mode.
Beautiful. And by the way, this too is good for you.
Right. So it has, well, it's better for you. But it has protein in it, and it also is stevia sweetened. So it's just lighter all around. I'm sure we
really good.
Well, and I'm sure we've all seen the pints that are 280 calories.
Oh, yeah.
That's what you're looking for. And we're only putting, well, we're technically only putting a.
I guess we're still doing holiday servings.
Whatever, it's all good. It's a few extra calories.
So
But.
not only does this recipe cut the calories and the fat as well, your new cookbook is solely based on that, and it's all diabetes-friendly recipes. Why was it so important for you to write this book?
You know what? I was blessed to work on The Biggest Loser for 10 years, where I saw we obviously all know we have a diabetes epidemic. And having come off The Biggest Loser, where I was seeing people actually reverse this through food, I wanted to continue that, and I thought that putting my focus there where people most need it would best serve me and everyone else in terms of I love when I can show people that they really can have what they want, which is also why it's called You Can Have It. Because so often, if someone's gone to the doctor and they're diagnosed with diabetes or pre-diabetes, as 1 in 3 Americans are, pre-diabetes,
Isn't that crazy?
Adults.
33% of adults.
So you go and you feel like, oh my God, my life is over, but now I'm showing you what you can have.
You know what, Devin? You can have it. And I
And we have had it. Enjoy that, Debbie, because I ate all of mine. It was delicious. For more delicious recipes, be sure to grab a copy of Devin's cookbook. You can have it. And for the full recipe, visit hallmarkchannel.com. And up